When Nanno transfers to a new school, a group of students gangs up to take advantage of her, not knowing what she's capable of. As a girl gets buried in the middle of the night, Nanno wonders about apologies and how we have hard countless of them. Perhaps, she says, people keep making apologies for future mistakes. Just then, it is revealed that Nanno is the girl that's getting buried. Days prior, Nanno transfers to a new school. Hawk, a varsity player, runs to the basketball court to tell his friends, Cheat and Noom, that a pretty girl just transferred. So the boys rush to room B where Nanno is. They peek through the window to get a glimpse of the new girl. However, their coach suddenly appears behind them and smacks their heads with a newspaper, telling them to return to the court at once. Everyone in the room notices the commotion, including Nanno. She turns to her seatmate, Tim, asking who those three boys are. She responds that they're the 3 points basketball players who also happens to be funny. Tao butts in, telling Nanno that those boys bring nothing but trouble. Tim fancies the 3 points, but she says they have too many fans, and she can't compete with them. Meanwhile, the coach makes the 3 points around Lapso's punishment. He asks Hawk if he was the ringleader, and the boy responds yes. Nanno becomes the talk of the school, and rumors circulate about her, like how she must be a troubled student or how she had her whole face done. Some say she's mean, while others comment about her attractiveness. The following day, Hawk gives a box of chocolates to Tim. She blushes and asks if it's for her, and Hawk nods. He hands her another box, but when she asks if it's for her too, he tells her not to be greedy. It's for Nanno, and he wants her to hand it to her. Tim rolls her eyes and walks away. Shortly after, she hands both of the chocolates to Nanno. However, Nanno doesn't want them and insists that Tim take them. Tao tells them to share, but Tim says she doesn't want to eat another person's leftovers. Because of this, Tao grabs the chocolates to eat them herself. Just then, Nanno says it's good that Tim didn't eat the chocolates because she needs to lose weight. Tim fumes in anger and walks out of the room. As Tao and Tim head home that afternoon, the 3 points approach them. They hand them 2 backstage tickets to a Japanese band's concert, but Tim is immediately suspicious and asks what the catch is. Hawk hesitates, then explains that his parents will be out of town, so he wants them to join his little party. The girl knows that this invitation is an excuse to see Nanno, so they return the tickets and reject their offer. The boys sigh in disappointment, and Hawk blames them for their failed attempt. Meanwhile, Tim asks Tao if she's tired of people coming to them just to get close to Nanno. However, Tao rolls her eyes and tells her that she's overthinking the situation. The following day, Nanno finds a white rose on her table. When she looks at the window, Hawk waves at her, pointing to the rose that he left. However, Nanno smashes it with her bag, making Hawk act as if she broke his heart. He leaves shortly after, and Tao expresses that it serves him right. As Nanno takes her seat, Tao asks her if she doesn't like Hawk at all. However, Nanno replies with another question, asking Tao if she likes anyone. She replies that she used to, but boys can't be trusted. As Tim listens to their conversation, she can't help but roll her eyes in annoyance. She whips out her phone and tells her group chat that Nanno is pretentious. The rest of the girls in the group chat reply with nasty comments about Nanno. Tim smiles as she sees more people hating her classmate. That afternoon, Noon asks Tao if she could tutor him on his math test. Tao groans, but she agrees anyway. As Tao explains the formula, Noom looks at Nanno and smiles. She smiles back, and Tao notices that Nung isn't paying attention because he's putting his interest somewhere else. Annoyed, she abruptly leaves the room, making Tim follow her. Nung quickly chases after them, and Nanno is left alone in the room. Tim finds Tao in the comfort room, sobbing in a cubicle. She asks if she still likes Nung, then comments about how she should stop because he's plain and stupid. However, Tao argues that he isn't stupid, he's just bad at studying. Tao continues to cry, saying that she doesn't know when she loves him. Tim tries to comfort her, but Tao tells her to leave her alone. Moments later, Tao comes out of the cubicle and tells Tim that they should go to the concert. Knowing what this means, Tim hesitates, but she looks into Tao's eyes and agrees to the plan. That night, the girls bring Nanno to the 3 points party. They try to get Nanno drunk, but it seems like she has some extremely high alcohol tolerance. Determined to get revenge, Tim and Tao pretend to go and get snacks. While they're alone, they plan to make a mixture of drinks that'll make Nanno drunk. Tim brings out a bottle of pills, saying that it'll surely knock Nanno out, but they agree to put in 3 pills. But when they're about to have Nanno her drink, Tim puts in 5, just to be sure. Before drinking, Tao proposes a toast and everyone takes a shot. Not long after, Nanno collapses on the table, making the 3 points maniacally look at each other. Hawk immediately tries to carry Nanno to his room, but the other boys prefer to see the act right then and there. Tao protests, saying that she doesn't want to witness it. The boys argue about who should go first, but in the end, Hawk takes first dibs because he owns the house. After disagreement, Hawk takes Nanno to his room. As she lies on his bed, unconscious, he quickly begins to unbutton her shirt. Suddenly, Nanno opens her eyes, completely sober, and wonders if he won't ask first. Hawk gets surprised and apologizes, but Nanno doesn't want an apology. Instead, she wants him to ask for permission. With this, Hawk nervously asks if he can vet her, even says he loves her just to make his statement more convincing. However, Nanno rolls her eyes and heads to the door. She tells the others to stop eavesdropping, then opens the door. Tal screams and pulls the door back, saying that Nanno can only come out after all the boys have lain with her. Nanno asks Itim if she wants to switch places with her, knowing that she likes Hawk. However, Itim screams for Hawk to do what he's supposed to. Pressured, Hawk grabs Nanno and tells her straight to the bed. He quickly unbuckles his pants and begins to copulate with her. As he does this, he asks Nanno if it feels good, but she sarcastically replies that anything as soft as tofu surely excites her. Hearing this, Hawk's friends laugh at him from outside while the other girls try to ignore what's happening. Nanno begins to laugh uncontrollably, terrifying and confusing Hawk. He tells her to stop laughing, but when she doesn't, he covers her mouth and chokes her. Nanno struggles to breathe, but Hawk is so occupied with his business that he fails to notice this. Suddenly, Nanno stops moving, and Hawk realizes that he just killed her. The others notice something wrong, so they barge into the room. As they see Nanno's body, they start to panic and place the blame on each other. Knowing that there's no way out, Itim suggests burying Nanno. The group does this, and they dig a hole to dump Nanno into. Before they can fully bury her, Hawk apologizes to Nanno's corpse, saying that he didn't want things to end this way. Not long after, Nanno is half buried in the dirt. However, she suddenly gasps for air, revealing that she's still alive. Hawk immediately tells everyone to help her, but the group stops him, knowing that they'll go to jail if Nanno lives. Tal yells at the boys to kill Nanno, so they bury her faster to suffocate her under the soil. When they've fully covered her underground, they take a moment to catch their breaths. Then, they all apologize for what they did. The following day, the group struggles to focus in class due to the events from the previous night. Just then, someone passes by the 3 points room, causing them to freeze in horror. Itim and Tao freeze as well upon seeing Nanno walk in front of them, back from the dead. As Nanno sits down, she asks the girls why they didn't wake her up. During recess, Nanno joins the girls and asks why they're so pale. When the girls respond, she assumes that they got really drunk the night before. Tao looks at her, all terrified, and says that she's not Nanno. However, the new girl laughs it off, asking who she could be if she's not Nanno. Ethan asks if she's Nanno's twin, but the girl thinks that's ridiculous. Just then, Nanno tells the girls that they look sick. With this, she grabs Tao's hands and checks her pulse. She also touches her face to check her temperature. Suddenly, her eyes land on the wound on Tao's hand, and she comments that she must have done some digging. Hearing this terrifies Itim and Tao, so they frantically get away from Nanno. As the two leave, Nanno tells them that the party was fun and that she should be invited again. She then looks back and sees the 3 points staring at her from the window. That night, the group meets up at Hawk's house to talk about the current crisis. Shit says that he doesn't want to kill another person again, so Tal threatens to drag his father into the problem. Just then, someone rings the doorbell, so Hawk goes to chat. To his surprise, he sees Nanno smiling back at him. She notices that everyone in the group is there, so she calls them mean for not inviting her. Suddenly, she laughs because she's only kidding and that she actually came there to get her phone. She reckons it's in Hawk's room, so she welcomes herself into the house to go there. As she goes upstairs, the group follows after her. When she gets to the bedroom, she asks Hawk to lie down with her so they can relive some history. When he doesn't move, she asks if he doesn't love her anymore, and if he was going to dump her after he got what he wanted. Suddenly, Nanno grabs her phone from under a pillow. She turns to the group and tells them that it has some great videos. She plays a video, revealing Hawk's plea for him to bed her. Another one plays Tao's voice, telling Nanno that she can only come out after all the boys have lain with her. Lastly, she plays a video with Itim telling Hawk to take advantage of Nanno. There are also videos of Chit and Nung that reveal their involvement in the crime, followed by their plan to bury her body. Everyone starts to panic, but Nanno only looks at them with a sinister smile. Suddenly, she decides that the videos must be shared with the world. As she's about to forward the videos, the group piles up on Nanno, suffocating her with a pillow. However, Nanno only laughs as they try to kill her once more. When Nanno dies, they immediately head to the same spot where they first buried her body. They hurriedly buried her again, but as they do, a voice recording of their apology from the other night suddenly plays. Everyone freezes in horror until Tell tells Hawk to grab Nanno's phone from the hole. As Hawk leans closer to the corpse, Nanno suddenly grabs him by the neck and begins laughing. Hawk screams and untangles her from him while the group frantically tries to bury Nanno. In the height of his panic, Hawk slams the shovel on Nanno's face to stop her from laughing. As the group desperately tries to stomp on the grave, Nanno suddenly appears before them, asking if they're done. Hawk hits Nanno with the shovel again, and the group joins him in beating her up. However, Nanno only appears behind them, causing the group to run to the car. To their horror, the car is locked and the key is with Nanno. She dangles the keys near Hawk's face, so he cautiously grabs them and begins to apologize. However, Nanno asks why he's sorry again. She then turns to face the others, and they scream in horror. Nanno tells them to get home safely, then she kisses Hawk's cheek. As the car drives away, Nanno hysterically laughs. While Nanno goes to school the following day, she ponders how people have made apologizing a tradition. People tend to apologize, repeat the same mistake, then apologize again, thus continuing a cycle. Shortly after, she arrives at the classroom. Itum and Tao shiver in fear as they see her, then they scream. Seeing this, Nanno smirks. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.